make a speech and learn. Please welcome Christina.
6 months ago, I was walking down Lygon Street, eating gelati, and I passed an old man. He was busking on the street corner. He was holding a microphone and he was singing Unchained Melody to a karaoke backing track. And he had a little amplifier next to him that was very cheap and very tinny. He was terrible. He was that kind of busker that makes pedestrians keep moving. I think if he went on The Voice, his own mother wouldn't have turned for him. Yet there he was, standing there singing for the masses. And it was in that moment that I went, if he can do it, surely I can do it. I mean, I sang in choir in high school. I started playing ukulele a month ago. How hard can it be? So that week, I went and I applied for and I got my busking license. I, Christina Canters, was going to become a busker. Toastmasters and guests, it's been 6 months of procrastination, of practicing, and of peer pressure, but I'm very pleased to say that last week I finally did it. I went busking. So I went down to DeGrave Street, which is the laneway in between Flinders Street and Flinders Lane. And I set up my songs that I hadn't quite memorised yet on my little stand there and picked up my ukulele and I started to play. And then all I could do was just wait for the scornful remarks, wait for the beer bottles to be thrown at my head, wait for someone to yell, "You suck!" But you know what? None of that happened. In fact, it was quite the opposite. I got smiles, I got waves, and I even got a few tips. Overall, it was an amazing, exhilarating experience. Now, from that, I learnt lots of things, and I'd like to share 3 of those with you today. Lesson number 1, people are human. In preparation for my challenge, I thought it would be wise to actually get some tips from some professional buskers. So I went out and I asked them, I said, what do you enjoy about busking? And they said, it's the people, those random interactions, a little thumbs up, a smile, a wave, you know, a good on your mate. That's almost as good as a tip, almost. And it made me stop and think, how often are we so focused on where we're going, on what we're doing, looking at our phones, we actually forget to stop and look up and interact with the humans, the people around us. How often do you ignore a busker on the street? I know I do it. So I challenge you to be a little bit more human as you go about your day-to-day life. Maybe say thank you to the tram driver. Maybe smile at the Mikey officers. They're human too. Or maybe say good morning to Glenda from accounts when you bump into her in the tea room, and even though she's a grumpy old bat, never says hello to anyone. She's human too. So be human. Oh, and also, the law of reciprocity states that if you make someone else a little bit happier, you will become happier too. So it's a win-win. The second lesson that I learned from my busking experience was to be spontaneous. Now, one of the biggest challenges I found was that as I was busking, I got interrupted a lot. People would come up and give me money, and then I'd say thank you, and then I'd mess up my song. So I messed up and I had to go back. And then at one point, I had a group of women on a hen's night run up to me and go, "Oh my God, can you play us a song?" So I had to stop what I was doing and play a different song for them. I mean, of course, I love drunk people with open wallets. You know, they just poured their wallets in. It was great. And from this, I realised that, you know, it's okay to go with the flow and take these interruptions in your stride. Don't let them foil your original plan. It applies to public speaking too. So next time you're giving a speech or you're preparing for a presentation, just keep in mind, if something goes wrong, if something doesn't quite go to plan, maybe you get interrupted. It's okay if you can learn to take those things in your stride. This is what makes the buskers successful. They're so good at that. And that's what makes good speakers so successful. So it'll help with that as well. So embrace spontaneity. My third and final lesson that I learnt from busking is that things aren't as scary as they seem to be. Toastmasters, 6 months ago, if you'd told me, Christina, go out and sing, I would have been like, no thank you. And I wouldn't have used those words either. I was terrified. I was as terrified as you, any of you would be right now if I was to say to you, Ajit, go and sing outside. See? But as soon as I got up there, for some reason, my fears just melted away. And I attribute this to two things. Firstly, I was just there to have fun. I'm not a professional musician. I wasn't trying to be a professional musician. And I thought, I'm just here to have fun. If I just give people a bit of entertainment, that's all I want. And that really helped. And secondly, I didn't care what other people thought of me. These people walking by, they're strangers. I don't care what they think. So what? And this can apply to anything new that you're trying. Maybe you want to learn how to ski. Maybe you want to start a blog. Or maybe you're just feeling nervous for your next speech. Just aim to have fun and don't care what other people think of you. It'll really help. So, those are 3 things that I learned from my busking experience. If you're interested, there is a podcast episode floating around online that documents the experience. So come and see me later if you'd like to see the link. Now, I know I've given you a few challenges today, but if there's one thing that you take from this speech is that I hope it's inspired you, even just a little bit, to take on your own comfort challenge. I believe that getting out of our comfort zones is the best way to learn and to grow and to achieve things that you never thought possible. If I can do it, and if an old man singing karaoke songs on Lygon Street can do it, then I'm 100% positively certain that all of you can do it too. Thank you.